Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. My name is Chafii from Class A Islamic Law Study Program Semester 3. In this video, I will tell you about the result of the Community Law Journal, which in making this video is to fulfill one of the final semester assignments, namely English course, where the lecturer is Laily wahyunita. In making this video, I am interested in how the journal about Islamic family law entails sharing headaches to different religion aspects and its legal duty. Sharing of heritage towards express of different religions and its legal duty. According to the four questions of inheritance law in ethic in Indonesia, namely the law of inheritance law in the civil code, and Islamic inheritance law. Inheritance law is a set of legal rules governing rights and obligations of a person who dies by inherit or other legal entity. The distribution of inheritance can be done to the district court for his who are subject to the law of inheritance, which is subject to the inheritance law of the civil code, and the religious courts for his who are subject to Islamic inheritance law. However, the problem is if the heirs are subject to Islamic inheritance law, while the Islamic heirs are of different religion non-Islamic. Because according to Islamic inheritance law, non-Islamic heirs do not receive inheritance. Non-Islamic heirs can occur because in the course of the marriage bond between the husband and wife of one of the parties leaving the religion of Islam, and theirs can also be caused of the offspring of the married who breaks a religion other than Islam. So that after the distribution of inheritance, this raises its own legal problems, especially in the distribution of inheritance. As for application of the law in the distribution of, of interfaith inheritance with the method of procedural law in the enforcement of decision courts, meaning that in its application it applies positive Islamic law, whose scope is based on a completion of Islamic law. The two progress at the Salatiga region cause the meaning here is to carry out the procedure for the application for settlement of interfaith inheritance by making the petition in stages so as raising the lawsuit and so on. And this is the end of interfaith inheritance discussion. Here is stated according to the jurisprudence of this firm course number 551 key, which in essence is that non-Muslim has cannot become his but can obtain inheritance of compulsory with. Even so, according to the author, because the judge has the duty to uphold law and justice based on Pancasila. By interpreting the law and looking for the functions, they become the legal basis for making the question of the case he is handling. The judge have the freedom to involves the discussion based on a sense of justice and beneficent scarce. The legal consequence of having heard of the French Revolution and also descend from the Judges and scholars often that give form a judge's point of view. So it can be called that the function of justice and we can manifest it in the law of health, the application of law, the implementation of the distribution of inheritance to health of the friends, decision in mixed malice and malice of the same decision regarding case of the inheritance settlement, which is asserted a motion of whether or not a judicial intercession is authoritative is based on the law in effect. At the time of the time according to Western inheritance law, heads of the nation are on come his will Islamic inheritance law, and of the tradition are buried to becoming her whoever the heads were different. Nations can still receive inheritance by means of a mandatory will as stipulated in the Bandung Decision of Number 4. The legal effect on the statement of interfaith inheritance in its implementation caused different interpretation of judges in causing the law in the verdict and causing legal uncertainty, both in the implementation process and legal status for his of the foreign nations. This is because there is no definite legal rule within verdict. The judge based referring to their jurisdictions of the several courts also. The judge has the authority to interpret the law related to the court cases they handle. Maybe that's all the journal that tell I am sorry and sorry especially to Miss Lady Wahyunita, who as an English lecturer in August and in the pronunciation. In this video there are some many pronunciation that is very wrong and ascot in pronunciation. I hope it can be understood because in just learning. Maybe it's just a mistake. I am sorry. Allahul muafiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.